Hello everyone, welcome to A Form of Farming in the Philippines. Well, Ray and Britzel, our two interns, are still at it out there, still making rows. And they're getting right close to the point now to where it's going to be too muddy to continue to the right. Britzel, how much farther that way is it very muddy? Where does it begin? Right here? Yeah. So guys, about 30 more minutes here and then I have a different job for you. But finish these rows here and then I want you to begin on the other side where it's very hard, where it's dry. So you see what I did here on this canal all the way around? I want you to continue and run this canal to that bank and then all the way down, yeah? And then begin the first row from the soil from the canal, yeah? And then I want you to make the rows come back this way until it gets very muddy and then just stop, yeah? So that'll be like tomorrow. But today, like 30 more minutes here, guys. And then I want you to take all the King Kong that we removed from the ponds and put in pond 2 and pond 1. Not in this pond, not in pond 3, but pond 1 and pond 2. All that King Kong, because it'll just die if it's left on the bank, okay? I got these guys another new shovel. We've really been abusing the shovels and going through them lately. The center portion there, you know, it's not that it's the lowest spot, it's just, as it turns out, it's just it's fill, you know, whereas what was on the sides, that right hand side and this side over here, was more hard packed, and so it's dried faster. So it's still like impossible to work this in the middle because it's just so wet. I know parts of it look dry on the surface, but if I was to walk out there, I would sink down to my knees. A couple more days, God willing, no rain, and we'll be able to work these center portions, but we can't do it now. So I'm going to have them finish up the rows they're working on now and then begin over here, because that first 12 feet or so there, like 4 rows, 5 rows worth, is hard pan, and that'll be easy to work. And hopefully by the time they get the rows here finished that they're doing and get those 4 or 5 in there and the canal going all the way around, that the center portion will be dry enough to work in. Careful, Andre, that's still very muddy. I told you. You're very brave, Andre. So we're going to have, I don't know, whichever ones are available, Ron Mar and Rainiel come and help Ray and Britzel tomorrow. And probably the day after and the day after, until we get this old pond turned into a field. Careful, Andre, and you be careful too, Red. Yeah, just be careful, huh? I know, you're just Superman. So So what can you say, Ray? Can we just remove this, guys? Remove this, yeah. It's sunk into the mud out there pretty deep. Andre and John have been down visiting their family in, oh, Red, you're gonna, I told you, huh? They've been down visiting their father's family in Demio, and they just got back today. Still very muddy. So, guys, when is your internship over? What's your last day?
Maybe the first week of August.
First week of August? So you're going to be here through the first week or first week of August done? Like August, huh?
First week of August,
You're, is the last week, okay. Well, that's only like 3 more weeks. I'm going to cry. I'm going to miss you guys.
Me too, sir.
You too, sir. These 2 young men are the salt of the earth as far as I'm concerned. They're just great young men. They're helping us out tremendously. I do what I can to I answer any questions they have about what we're doing and what's going on here, whatever techniques they're curious about. But they are really helping us out here. And they're still pretty shy. They won't tell me you need to do it this way or you need to do it that way. So have you guys been thinking about suggestions for the foreigner? No? See what I mean? They just won't tell me. They won't tell me, no, you need to do it this way. Your way's incorrect. They just won't do it. They won't tell me. All right, well, I've been chatting these guys up. Well, they've been digging this ditch. We've had a pretty good conversation. Actually, one of Britzel's cousins, we've been talking about a lot of stuff, but one of his cousins has also planted grapes here and has not gotten any fruit. So, and someone left a comment saying there was a vineyard somewhere around Toffee, and neither one of them have ever heard of it. But we've been talking about all kinds of stuff. Turns out the college that they're going to, what's the name of your college again, Ray?
Talibon Polytechnic College, sir.
Talibon Polytechnic College. See, that's a long name. That's why I can't remember. I was, yeah, easy, but very long. I was curious as to the amount of the tuition, and it turns out there is none. And as far as I can understand, it's open to everyone, tuition free. There's no requirement for GPA. As far as I can understand, there's no prerequisites whatsoever. And I asked them, well, could I go down and join the classes and get my degree? And they said, sure. I don't think that's going to happen, but good on Talibon Polytechnic College. I think it's a wonderful resource and a shining example of governments the world over often are you don't get what you pay for. Let's put it that way. It doesn't seem like it anyway. But it's good that the Philippines is providing free college to students who so desire it. What you thinking, Andre? You got very muddy feet, boy. Of course, that's the fun of it, huh? So Britzel's bringing this first line back just so the first row is straight. This portion here is not. This pond really isn't square. It's kind of got a little dog leg in it right here. And so they're just coming down. They had dug the first several feet of this, and then I suggested, no, we need to make the first row straight, because if the first row is not straight, then none of the subsequent rows are going to be straight. So maybe we can get in like 4 or 5 rows here, and Britzel just walked across that. Now he weighs a lot less than I do, but he just walked across that, and there was only one little area right in there where he actually sank in past his ankles. So we're close. Another couple days, like I said, another couple days, no rain, and we'll be able to work all of this. Yeah, see, look at Alondre. He made it all the way across without, well, no, I was going to, had to say something, huh? And then he sunk into that little part there. But it's getting close. they'd also, I'm bugging them all the time about suggestions on what we could do different here on the farm. And they suggested that I, like these furrows that we're making there, to cover them with plastic to hold the moisture in, keep the weeds down. Those are the plus points. I poo-pooed it. I asked them, I ran by my reasons for not using plastic, which is we're not flood irrigating, so we're not metering, we're not limiting the amount of moisture that's going into the soil. We're flood irrigating, which means it's going to be totally saturated. And if it's totally saturated and it's covered in plastic, number one, it's not going to dry out almost ever. We'll have the same situation that we do here in these first 2 fields of roots being saturated in water. And number 2 is because of the climate in the Philippines. It's hot and muggy and moist, and because the soil is not drying out, I'm worried about mold starting, or some kind of disease starting because of the moisture. And the other thing is the plastic will never be absolutely down onto the soil. There will be And I don't know, with clear plastic, of course, if you cover one of those furrows with plastic, it's going to, the soil is going to, there's going to be evaporation. And so you're going to have thousands of little droplets of moisture. And each one of those is going to act like a prism in direct sunlight. And also, I would be worried about burning the plants, burning roots. So I just don't, and then there's the expense of the plastic and putting it down. And I just, because we're flood irrigating is the main reason that I don't want to use it, because it's just really not necessary. All right, well, I'm going to end this one up. We're making progress. Hopefully Rainiel and Ron Marr, one or the other, can help Ray and Britzel here tomorrow. And get this done. I mean, it's Thursday. I don't know, even with 4 guys, I don't think we could get this done and the poles in it by Saturday. You never know, but kind of depends. But hopefully we'll get there, something close. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.